guys! I'm really happy to be back. I'm sorry that I've been away so long. I've had a couple of work trips and I just found it hard to schedule video making time, but I'd really like to start filming videos more regularly again because I missed it a lot, and thank you very much for bearing with me. So today I wanted to show you how I've been using my A5 Hobonichi 5-year techo. I've been using it since it started on January the 1st, so it's been nearly 2 months now. And as some of you know, I've been using it as a home planner. So this is where I put everything that relates to things that are going on in my life and James's life and the life of our dogs that is kind of relevant to both of us and that we both need to know. So I've had a home planner for the past few years and I've alternated between various different ones. For a while I was using an A6 Hobonichi and that just didn't really work out because we didn't need that big of a daily spread. And then I was using a ring bound planner for a while, and then a spiral bound planner, and I used an Erin Condren hardbound large planner for 18 months most recently, and that worked really well. And then I decided to try the A5 5-year techo because I thought that it would be nice to see the memories build up over the 5 years. And it's about the right size for a home planner. And the other thing about this is that I put all of my stickers in it. So as you'll see in a moment, this is totally stickerated. So I have this in a cover from Lyra & Co. on Etsy, which I'll leave linked down below. It's My Little Pony and I love it. And it has pockets on the inside. So in here I just have this Hobonichi leaflet that came with the planners this year, which I'm trying to figure out a special use for. I think I'd like to frame it. And then I have some sticky notes and some extra stickers, and then I decorated the dashboard with all kinds of happy planner stickers. So it's just supposed to be a nice, colorful, fun, happy motivational spread that just makes me smile whenever I see it, and it does. A lot of these are from the Miss Maker kit, which I really like. And I'm basically using only happy planner stickers in this planner because I just love the happy planner value sticker packs, and I have many of them. So as you can see here, it just says Hobonichi Techo 2019 to 2023, and it's a standard A5 size. And it starts off with these yearly spreads, and I'm using these to mark off everything related to our dogs. So we have 3 dogs, which is a little bit chaotic, and so they all have their worm medicine at the same time and their flea medicine, but then they all have checkups at different times of the year. So I've marked off here when they're due worm medicine, when they're due flea medicine, and then when they're due checkups. And it's actually changed a little bit, so this is kind of inaccurate now, and I'm not sure what to do about it because I set it up all so carefully at the beginning of the year, was really proud of myself, and then they changed their flea medicine, so it's now only every 3 months together with the worm medicine, and I'm really confused, but at least it tells me something, which is better than what I had before, which was nothing. So I'm planning to use all of these yearly spreads like that over the course of the 5 years, because that's something that before I've always felt a bit confused about. Like I was never sure when one of them was due their checkup and when they were due their worm medicine because it was every 3 months, so it makes me feel like I have more of a handle on it. Now before we go further, I feel like I should answer the question that you probably all have in mind, which is, how fat is it? So I have been decorating it with stickers like this, as you can see. So the 5-year techo is basically laid out like this. So on the left hand side you've got 5 horizontal boxes, and then on the right hand side you just have an empty gridded page. And the idea is that you use this to record things that happen, you know, on that day, on the same date for the 5 years. And then on the right hand side you can sketch or decorate or stick things in or continue with the entries from the previous side or whatever you want to do. So I have set it up so that I have this big horizontal spread going across the top, and then every day has its own space. When I did the walkthrough of this planner, when I originally got it, I mentioned the fact that it annoys me how you have these quotes at the bottom of the page, which means that the left hand side and the right hand side don't line up. So if you wanted to use this for 2019, then you've got 2020 here, 2021 here, 2022 here, and when you get to 2023 you've got this quote here, so you actually lose a lot of space on the right hand side. And someone very cleverly pointed out that because I am decorating this planner with stickers, I could actually just cover the quotes up with a sticker, and it wouldn't really matter that they're there, and it also wouldn't matter so much that there's no grid here, because it's just stickers anyway. So I've decided to do that, and that means that I've got this for 2019, and then I'll have 2020, and then I'll go down to 2023. So that's what I've been doing, which basically means that every inch of this planner is going to be covered in stickers. And I decided to do that when I first chose this planner as my home planner, because I don't have any other planners that I decorate with stickers, and I really wanted to have one planner that just gets covered in stickers, because that's how I've been using my home planner for the past year and a half already. So I was a bit nervous because obviously the Tomoe River paper is very thin, and this is a hardbound book, and so you'd think by the end of the first year, if you're covering the whole top of this in stickers, it would get extremely bulky. And so let me just show you what it looks like now. This is after I've decorated up till the 11th of March. So it's like a bit more than 2 months. So it's like, say, a sixth of the way through, and this is what it looks like. It's a bit crazy. So this is the bottom, which is still nice and thin. And then this is the top here where I've decorated. So I'm imagining by the end of the first year it's going to be like a bowling ball. But I've accepted that because after looking through Instagram around the end of the year, I felt inspired by all of the pictures that I saw with #FatHobo. There are so many gigantic chunky hobos that, you know, look like this by the end of the year. And I kind of think that that's a badge of honor, because if you've been using your hobo all year and you've loved it and you've put stickers and decoration in it, then, you know, it will be fat, and we should just embrace that. And so that's what I decided, and I thought I'm just going to go for it because life is short and I'm curious to see what happens, and I'm really enjoying it. So this is what it looks like now. So basically I'm thinking if I can get to the end of the first year, it will be pretty good going, because if it survives the first year, then I think that the subsequent years won't be an issue, because I'll just be evening it out, right? So at the moment it's only the top because that's covered in stickers, because I'm just doing the first year's worth, and it's really uneven because the rest of the planner is still quite skinny. So as I move down through the years, by the end, the top and the bottom and the whole thing will all be just as fat as the rest of it. So that is a little bit about the chunkiness of the planner. Now, back to how I'm using it. So as you can see, this first spread, this was January 1st, was a little bit out of the ordinary because I put some stickers in subsequent years, and I thought, okay, it's New Year's Day, that will be true every year, so I might as well just put that sticker on. And then I put this one in here under year 2 because I thought, this is your year, that never gets old, so why not put that in there? And then this was an experiment that I have stopped doing subsequently, but my idea was that I would have like a kind of dashboard at the beginning of every month. So at the beginning of January, the beginning of February, etc., I would put one of these long checkbox stickers in, and I would put in jobs that had to be done sometime in the month, so kind of like a master task list for the month. And then it would be easy to find them because you just go back to the first day of the month. Obviously, because this is a daily planner, there's nowhere to put in lists for the whole week, let's say, unless you put them on a sticky note. So that was the idea with this, and for some reason it just hasn't really stuck, and then I forgot to do it in February, and then I just haven't done it again when setting up March. So I'd kind of like to use this, but I'm thinking actually this could be something that I use in subsequent years, so I could try it again on the 1st of January 2020 and see how it goes. But other than that, the basic setup is that I put the English day of the week in here, because as I said, James and I are both using this, and I have kind of got used to the Japanese days of the week from my other Hobonichis, but James hasn't, so he asked if I could put the English in here, so I have. And then I just put in a mix of stickers. Some of them are decorative and some of them are functional, and because I'm setting this up a bit in advance, I don't always know what's going to be happening on that day, because it's a daily planner. So I think when you've got a weekly spread, it's somehow maybe a bit easier to picture what's happening over the week, for me anyway. But with a daily spread, because each one is like an individual thing, I just kind of set it up as I go along, and I try to decorate about a week in advance so that I can write things down. Because the thing with this planner is that I like to put everything on the stickers. And I know that might seem sacrilegious when you've got Tomoe River paper, but I have so many Hobonichis that I'm using for different things, which I will show you all in another video soon about my current lineup, that basically I just wanted to do this experiment, putting stickers on and writing on the stickers. So I'll put in some stickers that I know will be relevant, and then I put in a lot of general stickers like today, like this one that just says today, and then I put this one on that says recycling because we put the recycling out on Tuesdays. So it's kind of going like that. And sometimes I end up with things like boxes that I don't use because I don't always know how many tasks there will be for a given day or how many events. So usually I try to fill them all up, but you know, occasionally I end up with something where it's not like, you know, it just, I don't need all those boxes, and so sometimes I go in after the fact and fill them in so that afterwards we can see what we did that, you know, like that day. Because one of the reasons that I wanted to use this planner, a 5-year techo, is because I thought it would be so much fun to get to come back the next year and, you know, like plan for the future while looking back on what you did at the same time last year. And I really enjoyed doing that for my A6 5-year techo, which I use as a gratitude log and highlights of the day memory keeper. So I thought that this would be really fun because it's got all the decoration and it's kind of cool to be able to plan, so you feel like you're doing something practical rather than memory keeping, but at the same time you still get to go back and see what you did at the same time as you're planning for the new things, if that makes sense, rather than just taking an archive book off the shelf and seeing what you did a few years ago, which is also fun. So it's basically just gone on like that. There's a lot of decoration in here just because I like to cover up the whole thing, and I've been happy about that. So like here we went to Wales, so I just put this decoration that we were going, and then actually in the end we didn't end up going that day, so I just had to put postponed over it. But that's fine because it's really just a kind of collection of all of the things that we're doing together. So sometimes I put in meal planning, but it's not at all systematic. And sometimes I put in lists of things for James to do because he has his own planner, but he finds it helpful sometimes if I write things down in here and then he can check them and put them into his planner instead of like me reminding him and then he forgets and then I have to remind him again. So if they're in here, I'll just say it's all in here, just have a look in here. So it's mostly things like I said, if I'm out or if he's out, or if like, so here I went to the US for a work trip and I was away all of this time, so I just put in some basic decoration and just a reminder that I was away, so that, I mean, he knew that I was away, but you know, like just so that if he looked at it, he could see how long I was away for and when I was coming back. And I didn't put in other things because, like I said, he has his own planner and I have my own planners, so there was no need for it, but it stays open on our table and then he could see that I was back. And then, so here, aha, I was coming back. So here is like what to make for dinner, worm treatment. A lot of times I just put in a big writable box so that I can put whatever we want, and then afterwards I'll add stickers that are more relevant. So we ended up going to the movies. So when I first made this spread, originally I didn't know that we would be going to the movies, but then after I'd written it in, I got out some movie stickers and put them in so that by the time it comes to the actual day, the decoration is a bit more relevant to what's actually happening. So I kind of just like start off with some generic decoration and then, you know, add to it when necessary. And sometimes I put in things that are a bit more specific to me that I don't really need to put on here. Like for example, this is an article that I've been working on. So I had a work sticker and I'd originally put this in because I thought if I was going to be in the university that day, then I would put my hours in so that James would know. But as it turned out, I was at home that day, so I just wrote in what I was working on. And that's because this, I guess it's kind of like a catch-all planner in a way, except that it's not a very detailed one. It's a catch-all planner that has stuff in it that's relevant to the whole family, and also just kind of whatever other random things need to be done. So I put in a note here if my colleague is coming to work with me at home, so that James knows that there's, you know, somebody coming to the flat. And then I put in, like, you know, possibilities that we might go to the cinema, and then sometimes we don't. Then I went away again. This was for another work trip. And so again, I put in a decorative spread because when I was in America, I got the travel value pack. And so I thought this is the perfect opportunity to use it. And I can put in that I'm going to be in Copenhagen. And also Tails had a vet appointment. And so I put that in for James as well, even though he might not necessarily have needed it because he should have put that in his planner as well. But, you know, it's just if I know that something's going on, even if I'm not actually going to be involved, it's just like a kind of fail-safe that it's written somewhere else. And this was also just a note that, you know, like, I'm not here, and then I came back, and the time when I came back. So a lot of this is really just me basically having an excuse to decorate a planner so that I can tell James where I'm going to be and what's going on. Let's face it. But I like to be able to use the stickers, because in my other planners I have absolutely no stickers. So, and then sometimes, like, this is all totally practical stuff that James said that he would do, and so I wrote it in so that he would remember. And that's basically up to the present. And then you can see what I've done with the subsequent days that I've decorated. So you can see it's just a kind of random collage of stickers, basically, with space to write. And sometimes I know that something's going to happen, like I'm thinking that we're probably going to go to the cinema on Monday. And the reason that we're going to the cinema so much is because we got these limitless passes where you, like, for a certain amount a month, you can go an unlimited number of times. So that just makes us really much more inclined to go to the cinema. And so you can see here, sometimes I use a particular sticker pack quite a bit. So this was Free Spirit and Miss Maker. And this is the Choose Happy mini value pack and Free Spirit. And it's just really a mix. So I put in things like my payday, just because I've got the stickers. So I make a note of my payday sometimes in my weeks, which is my personal planner. But it's really not something that I need to remind myself of, because I don't have to do anything. But it's nice to note it down when I've got a sticker for it. This is Leap Year, which is only going to be relevant in 2020, so this whole spread is blank. And I don't really have any specific, like, theme or, you know, color conventions. I just, like, make a kind of big mess of different stickers because that aesthetic really pleases me. And also because it's daily, I think somehow it doesn't appeal to me as much to make a whole, like, color coordinated spread as it would in a weekly spread, because every day is different. I might do that at some point because I can experiment. So I think I might try doing some kind of color coordinated spread, and then I would have to try to keep the same color coordination in subsequent years. So I think that would be really cool, because by the end of the 5 years, I'd, let's say, have a green spread here on this date or something. So I might start doing that, but so far I haven't. So as you can see, it's essentially just a mix of all kinds of generic stickers, because I don't know yet what's going to be happening on these days. But when I do, I might add in some more. So yeah, I've kind of modified some of the stickers from the mom pack. So then I keep this Happy Mail Elephant Postman card, which came from Paper Chase a few years ago, and I love it. I keep this here as a bookmark to mark the page that I've got up to on decorating. So I started decorating this page, and then I can easily come back to it. And the page that I'm actually currently on in terms of like where I am in the planner, I use this bookmark which comes with a 5-year techo, and I just added this charm on the end of it. And then I keep some blotting paper in here, which I got from Hobonichi, and I love this blotting paper. It's so elegant and beautiful, and it has this nice band design on the front. It's really cool, but I actually have found that I don't need it because fountain pen ink dries so quickly on these Happy Planner stickers that I haven't actually needed it. But I just keep it there on like kind of the page before the current page. And it generally just stays open on the table so we can access it easily. And that's it. So the rest of this is blank. And then I have some pictures of my dog Panda in the back, and I'm using a Kaweco brass sport, and it can still close. So that's what it looks like when it's closed. So you can see all the chunk up here at the top. I don't know how long it will be able to close in subsequent years. I think for this year it's fine because the middle is still pretty skinny, but you know, like in the second year and the third year I might end up not being able to close it. So we will see what I do then. For now I like having it in this cover because it's pretty and happy, and also because it has a pen loop, but we'll see. So that is how I'm using my A5 Hobonichi 5-year techo as a home planner. I hope that you enjoyed this. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back again soon. Bye!